Yo YouTube, what's up? I'm Tim, he's AC. This is the Cash Kelly and AC Sports Report. First of all, I want to congratulate the Chrome Cats. If you remember back to that A-Rod video that everyone hated, I put their song in there. They are now signed by professional recording artists. You want to get on the show, just send me a message. We will get your music on the show as long as it's original. Alright, so now we're going to get into a topic that has really screwed everything in the playoffs, and that is the fact that they don't have instant replay. It happened again last night, but let's go through all the calls that have really been terrible in the playoffs. First of all, there have been a few in the Rays-Rangers series, but really it hasn't come to the point where it's mattered because the Rays have just come out dead in that series.
Which I think shocked a lot of people.
Yeah, it's surprising.
I'm surprised. I'm almost appalled at what the Rays are doing down there.
I mean, it never surprised me that the Rangers were winning. I thought the Rays were going to win, but it didn't surprise me. But it surprised me that this is how it's going. The other calls, that strike three to Berkman the other night, I mean, how much more obvious can you make it? That was clearly a strike three that they got wrong. And we'll get into if they can use it on strikeouts in a little bit. That one the other night with the that strikeout one, though, the next pitch, Berkman hits a double into the gap, they score a run, and then Jeter hits a run. That pitch could have been strike three, and the Twins could have been out of that end. That changed the whole game. Now, I still think the Yankees probably win it because they kind of just own that series as well. But who knows?
Yeah. Anything can happen when you throw that into the game.
And finally, that one with the Giants the other night where Brian McCann clearly threw the guy out at second. The ESPN slowed it in replay. They tug him. I mean, the Little League World Series has instant replay. This is like the fourth video we're doing about how they need instant replay. At some point, they just got to do it. And then, finally, you have did the Phillies win because of Utley? I heard a lot of that. I got a lot of messages saying that last night, that the Phillies only won because Utley got faked getting hit. I couldn't even tell if he got hit in the first place.
When the ball's going that fast, I mean, not supporting the umpire, but it's really hard to tell.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell. And
if you fake it good, you know, it gets
even
worse.
Just people made an issue when Derek Jeter did that. I thought it was funny. It was good, smart base. If you get hit in a game that matters and you take your base, what are you going to say? Oh, wait, no, it stopped. I'll go back and bat again. It didn't hit me. Come on, this isn't Pee Wee baseball anymore.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And then second, Utley was out at second. I'll give you guys that. But still, the Phillies ended up scoring more runs that inning. They would have won 5-4, 6-4. But yeah, it would have been a closer game. Maybe the Reds get some more life. I kind of doubt it, but maybe they do. But hey, they threw that game away for the most part.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the errors on either side were just incredible.
Yeah,
it looked like a Little League game. It really did.
Yeah, it looked like my baseball team a few years ago when we went 0-16. If that gives any
making poor defensive efforts.
Oh yeah, it was terrible. Then they had to play with Jay Bruce. I can understand losing in the lights, but if you lose in the lights, what you should do is just back up.
It didn't get high enough to the lights. It was the
well, that's the part that I kind of didn't understand. Like, I didn't think it was even that high. It was a low liner, and it's not like it wasn't catchable. It landed right next to him. Yeah. And then Brandon Phillips gets the ball, and he goes to throw it, and it just, like, slides off his hand. Jason Morris comes around to score, and the Phillies basically put the game away that inning. I mean, the Reds shot themselves in the foot that last night, and it really didn't matter. Now, I saw a few headlines. Umpire misses call again on fake getting hit. You know, I don't know if he got hit or not. That's very debatable in this situation, but I think it's just been so poor all around. And two things have remained consistent from the regular season. In a game, one team has dominant pitching, another team doesn't, and the umpires suck. That's basically what stayed the same. Now,
how do you resolve that issue? I want to ask.
What, the
umpires with the strike zone, as you were getting into that.
Yeah.
How do you resolve that issue?
Well, for the most part, you can't. Like, most calls you can't. But I do think there's a level to the point where, like in football, they call for a booth review in the last 2 minutes of the quarter, maybe, or the half. Yeah, maybe they can do that in baseball if it is so blatant that they got it wrong. Because the one with Berkman, it just froze him. And I think it froze the umpire too. And you're just left between screwing the Yankees or screwing the Twins. Chances are you're going to screw the Twins.
because it's not going to get you nearly as much negative attention. Now, most people try and stay neutral, but I don't blame the guy. I mean, I think he froze in that situation and thought, damn, that was a strike, and I just screwed that call. And those are the situations where you really almost hope, even if it's your own team, that they don't score a run that inning, that they go out the next inning and score, so there's not a huge issue. No, I mean, I'm not going to say I don't like scoring runs no matter what, but still. Do you think they should have thrown it, or, okay, so do you think they can use it on real blatant strike calls?
Actually, I heard something on 97.5 The Fanatic that was actually pretty intelligent, and it was, with the strike zone, the umpire has two sensors in his hand, one in his left, one in his right, and if it's a strike, one on the left goes off, and if it's a ball, one on the right goes off, and then he makes the call. You know, you still got the guy behind the plate,
yeah,
but technology is brought into it so that it's not, the human aspect is taken out.
Yeah, the human element's a joke. I've heard enough of that crap.
Yeah.
I mean, how many more calls have to be screwed up? These are now screwing up the results of playoff games. How many more calls and we're sitting here Phillies fans in a game that we have been helped out by this terrible umpire. You can get a robot behind the plate. I don't think people even care anymore about umpires. Now, obviously, there's not really a way at a base to get a robot, but behind the plate, you can call balls and strikes. The problem is, what if the robot, like, dies in the middle of the game or something, or some strange...
Baseball's a bang-bang sport. You
Yeah.
gotta be ready for it. I mean, come on. Some of these calls third graders could make. It's ridiculous.
I could have made... I mean, they could pay me these double figures umpires make, and I could do a better job. Now, I understand
A lot of people could.
getting nervous in the playoffs. If you're nervous in the playoffs, then don't take the job to ump in the playoffs. Ump in the regular season, or go back to the minors, or go home and make me a sandwich. Now, the final thing, should they have put it in during the playoffs?
Absolutely. It's no question.
No, but like, should Bud Selig have said, you know what, this has sucked all season, I'm going to be smart and put it in the playoffs. Now, we know Bud Selig isn't smart,
exactly.
But should he have done that?
Of course he should have.
Yeah, and
there's no question. If it can affect the regular season, I would have put it in the playoffs before I would have put it in the regular season.
Yeah, I don't have any problem.
It's so much different.
Like, I thought it was weird last year when they put it on the home runs, because I really think it hasn't changed anything.
No.
The umpires are so hesitant to go to the home run calls, it's not even funny. It really isn't.
They're extremely hesitant to overturn calls.
Like I went to a Phillies-Red Sox game. Greg Dobbs hit a home run over the foul pole. Should have ended the game. But they called it foul. They weren't even willing to go look at the play again. Like, the umpires are just getting lazy. But this isn't about. Another idea I've heard is put a laser at the front of the strike zone for check swing. Check swings, 90% of the time you can say, you know what, you win. It's like fumbles in football. You're not always going to be able to tell. If you don't have enough evidence, then you stick with the original call. That's what it comes down to. So
check swings are so like hit and miss. You can't judge check swings.
Yeah, but a lot of the time, like, if you're swinging at a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, chances are you're not going to be able to stop in the middle of swinging because you have to generate